Welcome to another edition of Bulldogs Live. We are catching up with the team. So pleased to be joined today by Bulldogs second-year center Lawson Sherk. Lawson, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Reader.
Well, this has been a little bit weird, the longest offseason I think any of us have ever had, and it's been a little bit strange not riding next to you on the bus for the last 6 or 8 weeks, as I think everyone was expecting to be at first. But how's the offseason been for you?
Yeah, it's going good. Obviously longer than expected, but just got to stick with it. Take some of your time here and there. Make sure you're recovering the body and, stay on the ice and in the gym. So everything's been good.
Excellent. Good to hear that. As you start ramping up for the season again, expected start is February the 4th. I've been asking all the guys this, but have you been in a lot of contact with your teammates? It sounds like everybody's stayed pretty close despite the extended offseason.
Yeah, for sure. The guys are talking every day on our group chat and stuff. And I've been lucky enough to skate with some of the guys. So keeping in contact with them there.
So if you've got any questions for Lawson Sherk, I know I'm just watching the numbers come up. A lot of folks watching along on the stream. Throw a comment into our comment section. I'll be happy to toss some questions Lawson's way. I know he'll be happy to answer them. But as we start this, Lawson, let's go all the way back. Minor midget, the Halton Hurricanes. You were the captain of the team, and in fact, I did bring along some evidence. There we go. And when you were skating with the Halton Hurricanes in your minor midget season, when did you get the idea that, okay, I'm not only going to be an OHL draft pick, but I might be going pretty high in this thing?
Yeah, you know what? It was kind of iffy the whole way through the year, and then near the end of the year, our team performed well at our OMHA championship, and then we got the nod for the OHL Gold Cup or the OHL Cup, and we did pretty well there. And I had a decent tournament, and at that point, I was knew that I would go a bit higher than I kind of thought the whole year.
If my memory serves me correctly, 15 goals, 35 assists, 50 points to lead your team in scoring in your minor midget year. What was it like working with that group and being the captain? Because you're kind of thrust into a leadership position at 15 years old in a season that was so big for you because it was your draft season for the OHL. How did you handle all that?
Yeah, a lot of credit goes to the group of guys that were on that team. They're all just great guys, and we're such a tight-knit group, so it was pretty easy to lead them. But coaching staff, everything, it was just all perfectly wound up for a great season.
I knew this would happen. We pretty often get the teammates jumping in. Avery Hayes says, Sherky.
How's it going, Hazer?
It's great. Avery Hayes is usually in on these things. He's kind of like an assistant co-host on Bulldogs live streams. When your season's over with the Hurricanes and this happens, what were your thoughts of playing with the Hamilton Bulldogs, staying so close to home in the OHL? And that's a pretty solid promo picture right there.
Yeah, you know what? It's just such a great organization, and I'm an honor to be a part of it. So going from the Halton Hurricanes to the Hamilton Bulldogs, it couldn't have got much better than that.
You look at 3 drafts in particular for the Bulldogs that have really set the table. 2015, you get Matthew Strome and Mackenzie Entwistle as 2 frontline forwards, one in the first round, one in the second round. 2017, Connor McMichael and Arthur Kaliev, who's pretty much rewritten the Bulldog record books on his own. Then 2019, Ryan Winterton, Lawson Sherk, and in fact done in the exact same 2 spots as Matt Strome and Mackenzie Entwistle. Not putting any pressure on you guys, but just reporting the facts. Was it kind of cool to have that sort of history type thing that you guys went in those same 2 slots? And you look at the second round, the Bulldogs have such a great history of drafting in the second round with, like we just mentioned, Entwistle and Kaliev, and I could go on and down the list. But does that kind of give sort of a cool representation of what it means to be a Bulldog?
Yeah, it's cool. There's some great names that have been picked up by the Bulldogs, so obviously shows they're on point with their scouting and their staff there. So I've been lucky enough to play with some of those guys and get to know them. So great guys on and off the ice.
Now, we knew coming in, to go back to the 2015 draft, that Matt Strome and Mackenzie Entwistle had chemistry instantly. They'd played together pretty well all their lives. They'd grown up together. We knew that they were going to be pretty good as line mates stepping right in. I think what a lot of people didn't realize was that yourself and Ryan Winterton were going to pick up chemistry almost instantly. Is it just something that your guys' games fit really well together, whether Ryan's playing the middle and you're on the wing, or you're in the middle and Ryan's on the wing? It seems like strong sides you guys can flip in the face-off circle, and it just the game meshes so well for you two.
Yeah, I love playing with Wentz. He's a great player, and I just think our games mash well together. We can find each other, and we got a bit of time playing together last year, so hopefully that can build into future years.
Was it just easy right from the beginning playing with Ryan? Did it just come naturally?
Yeah, for sure. He's such a great player to play with. He makes it easy to play on the ice with him. So yeah.
He said the same thing about you, by the way, a couple of months ago when we had him on the first time, that he just really enjoyed last season and working with you. And it seemed like it was unfortunate for the Bulldogs because it seemed like you guys were really picking up the stride as the season went along. You guys were really coming together, not just on your line, but as a group before the season went on pause. Did it really feel like there was a corner being turned and a lot of this young talent was coming to the forefront?
Yeah, you know what? I think we are getting there, and it's too bad that we didn't get to go into playoff and make some serious moves. But I think we would have surprised a lot of people going in. We were getting tighter as the season went on, and we were only going up from where we were. So
I've said this so many times. I'm going to sound like a broken record to the fans that tune into a lot of these or all of these, but I've never been around, other than the 2018 championship team, I've never been around a group of guys, and of course I wasn't on the bus for that. I was with you guys last year. I've never been around a group of guys that are so close. You guys didn't just enjoy being teammates and being together on the ice. I got to see it from a different angle in that you guys really liked being together off the ice. There was never just one guy hanging around, the lobby or hanging around at a restaurant. Where one of you went, a group or all of you went. Is there just something special about this group that's coming together?
Yeah, you know what? It's so fun being on this team. All the guys are so close. And even look at last year, we had like 7 new guys or something like that. And we are already that close. So I can only imagine how close we're going to get next year and even the year after that.
So at times last season, you got to play with, a guy like Jan Yannick, who is going to be a star in the National Hockey League. I mean, he's already jumped back in after the knee injury, now playing in the second league in Finland, and he's absolutely tearing it apart. Jan Mysak comes over midway through the season. You got to see him become a second-round draft pick with the Montreal Canadiens. He was lights out after arriving. Arthur Kaliev, I mentioned it earlier, has rewritten the record, but Tag Bertuzzi is breaking out. I could go on all day with the talent on this team, but as a rookie, when you get to play with that kind of talent, see that kind of talent, learn from it every day, what was it like for you?
Yeah, those guys are unbelievable players, and you can only just pick apart their brain and talk to them while you're off the ice, learn things that they use during their game, and even just in practices, watching what they do, being on the ice with those guys, they make you better every minute you're on the ice with them. So I'm lucky enough to have them on my team and have played with a couple of them.
Well, I mentioned that you got to be on the ice with Arthur Kaliev as one of those guys a little bit. Let's go back in time because this was opening night. We're in Sarnia, and you and Ryan Winterton score your first goals in the same game, and this is where we cue the video.
A shot wide of the net there. Kaliev goes back with Sherk. Kaliev takes it, drops it off Gravel. Here's Sherk, chance, he scores! Nice Lawson Sherk with his first Ontario Hockey League goal. And it puts the Bulldogs up by a score of 2-1.
Nice three-way passing play by the Sarnia Sting. Sherk gets the high fives all the way around. As we see the nice pass here from Kaliev.
So that's Kaliev to Gravel to Sherk. Now, I know a lot of people might say, well, that looks kind of easy into the side of the net. One, I can tell you from experience, that is not an easy play to pull off in a 3-on-1 when you're trying to go around the triangle. And 2, you showed incredible skill because that pass is in tight. Jake had to make it really quick. It's in tight. You one-timer into the back of the net. You and Winterton score your first goals on the same night. I was there for the ride home, but what was it like after you guys both pot him on the opening night of the season?
Yeah, it was special. I was happy that we both got one that night, and just getting that pressure off your chest early was nice to get that done.
You look at this team, Lawson, you look forward because now as players are aging, you and Ryan Winterton, Ryan Humphrey, the 03 group that was so impressive last year, and we haven't even mentioned Mateo Drobak, who is going to give a lot of competition and who you know very well, is going to give a lot of competition to Zach Marco Coffey coming up this season. But as this year comes in, you guys are going to take another step forward. It's a young team, but it feels like the guys that got the experience last year are well beyond where you would typically think a rookie going into his second year would be. You think you guys are ready to take that next step forward and help lead these old fours that are going to come in?
Yeah, for sure. Last year was great, and even our OAs last year taught us a lot and how to lead a group, and we picked up some tricks from them. But for sure, just another year of experience under our belt and coming in with more confidence for sure.
Peggy Chapman jumps in, and Peggy says, Sherk, thanks for all your support in the community and the foundation. Can't wait for you to be back at it. That's one thing, Lawson, that I wanted to talk about with you, and thanks to Peggy for bringing that up. You didn't just accept being a Bulldog. You jumped in with both feet, because everything that I did when we were out in the community, I saw you at, and you did some other stuff as well. When you come to the Bulldogs and the foundation is such a big part of what the Hamilton Bulldogs do, right from owner Michael Andlauer on down, did you just take that immediately by the horns and say, I want to not just be a part of this team on the ice, but I want to make myself a part of the community?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's so important to give back to our fans and the people around our community, because they just give us endless support. So I was happy to do it and enjoyed the whole time.
Now, when you go out in the community, what was some of your favorite events last year? Because we had a whole bunch of them where the both of us were at, whether it was mall signing or bowling or a whole list of things. What were some of your favorites to do?
Yeah, definitely going out to bowling that one night was pretty fun. Getting to see everyone, having a blast there, and even the free food was nice too. So
yeah, you can never go wrong with the free food.
No.
Can never go wrong there. So we look forward to February 4th, where the season is expected to begin. And when you look at the team from top to bottom, so if Arthur Kaliyev doesn't make the Los Angeles Kings, he comes back. Jan Mysak expected to be back from Montreal's camp. Tag Bertuzzi again is going to take another step forward. Logan Morrison and Avery Hayes both looking at a draft year. So are you and Ryan Winterton and Ryan Humphrey and the rest of the 03s. Is there going to be a bit of a sense of unfinished business to this upcoming season? I know you guys, the draft is kind of in the back of the mind, but it seems like, as you were talking about earlier, it felt like they were right at the precipice of taking that next step. Is there a bit of unfinished business?
Yeah, for sure. All the boys were pretty down that we didn't get to finish that season last year because, we could have done some serious damage, but just all charged up for this season. I know all the guys are ready to go and get the job done this year.
You mentioned earlier the OAs from last year, and of course, Cade Landry, Isaac Nurse, and Brady Johnson, who will move on. Specifically, Brady Johnson and Isaac Nurse, because you play a really advanced 200-foot game for somebody that was 16 going on 17 that we saw multiple times last season, including work on the penalty kill. What were you able to take from two guys in Johnson and Nurse who really made that their role in the Ontario Hockey League, that they could play shutdown D and provide the offense?
Yeah, two amazing players there, and great guys off the ice and on the ice, especially just their games. I remember Nurse was injured for the first little part of the season there, and then he jumped in back with the boys, and just the energy he brought to the game and to the guys, it was amazing. The feeling it was when he jumped back on the ice. So definitely the electric style in both of their games and their defensive play, and not being able to provide offensively too is just amazing to learn from.
There were nights last season where you got to sit on a bench that included Liam Van Loon, Isaac Nurse, and Ryan Humphrey. When you've got three guys like that on your team, is that a bit of a cattle prod to everybody else? Because those guys are going to get you going, and they're going to get under the skin of the opposition. Is that fun to play with when you got those guys really going at the tops of their games? Yeah,
for sure. Those guys are characters, and it just gives so much energy to the boys, and being able to have that on your team, I think honestly you need it. So to have those guys, it's pretty special.
Yeah, and it's three guys that, Isaac Nurse is somebody that's irreplaceable, but you look at the steps that both, a guy who you spent a lot of time on the line with in Humphrey, and Liam Van Loon, who played in different roles throughout the lineup. There's two guys that they're taking the next steps for them. And you look at what's being added into this team, Jonathan Malie, another forward that kind of in the same style as yourself and Ryan Winterton, big, fast, currently playing with the Rockland Nationals and having a great start to his season. And then you look on the back end, Jorian Donovan's going to arrive, and Artem Grushnikov from Russia. A lot of competition up front and on the back. What's training camp going to be like, Lawson? Because there's a lot of talent in this organization.
Yeah, you know what? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be very competitive, and everyone's gonna be itching to show what they can do and show what they've been working on with this extended off season. So I can't wait for all the competition and to see all the boys again.
What were some of your favorite moments last year as a rookie in the OHL and really getting into it? Because you played a lot of minutes, you played in some big situations. What really stood out to you from last year?
I'd say, like, honestly, every game was so much fun. Just being able to compete with all the guys, but obviously that first game was pretty special, and being able to play against some of the guys that I played in minor midget with and play against them. So, you know what, it was so much fun every game. I can't pick just one.
Who did you learn the most from last year with the Bulldogs? Because it was a young team, but it felt like everybody kind of took on roles beyond their years and beyond their experience. Who was the one or a few guys for you that kind of scooped you under the wing and showed you how to do it in the OHL?
Yeah, you know what, at the beginning of the year, Jan Unique was very, very supporting, and just like what a player he was on the ice. It was cool to be able to be in the same room as him even. So being able to play with him was pretty special, and he on and off the ice was both just a great guy with guiding the young guys.
You know, I asked Tag Bertuzzi this question after he spent some time on a line with him. Same thing with Liam Van Loon. Did you ever, when you were watching Jan Unique, when you were on the ice with him, did you ever get stuck and realize, oh, geez, I'm actually on the ice. I got to keep going? Because when you watch him, it's just mesmerizing what he can do with the puck.
Yeah, it's crazy to watch him. And you know what? It's too bad that we lost him that second half of the season, but he's going to do great things with hockey. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can get done.
Yeah, I talked to Logan Morrison a bit about his experience with the draft. Obviously, he went undrafted, which I think is crazy. I think he's going to make a lot of teams pay for that one. But as you go through and you've seen teammates drafted, you've seen now, obviously, a guy like Jan Unique's going to go to the National Hockey League, maybe a shortstop in the AHL, but we know where he's going to wind up. Do you feel well prepared to head into your draft season, having seen and been there for the experiences of your teammates ahead of you?
Yeah, just to learn from those guys and see what they kind of went through and the different pressures that they have. So it's definitely, I'd say, given an upper hand to know what to expect. But right now, just trying to keep it in the back of my mind and looking forward to the season to even start. So, and
for that season to start, three guys that are going to be big on this, and I ask everybody about them: JP, Casey, Danny. I've been around a lot of teams. Those are three pretty special guys on staff, and three guys I don't think you're going to find any more dedicated anywhere else. Ryan Moore the other day said, I mean, the three best that he's worked with, and he's played in the pros. What are your thoughts on the guys who just don't get the credit that they really deserve?
Yeah, seriously, those guys are, they're everything to the team. They're the backbone of the team, and nothing to get done without those guys. Preparing for games, cleaning up from games. You don't see all the countless hours that those guys put in to make what we get done possible. So,
absolutely. I also want to ask you, we haven't had you on since. Did you get to see a lot of the National Hockey League playoffs done in the bubble?
Yeah, that was great to watch, and a lot of fun there. We're getting kind of bored, and having that come on the TV was pretty nice.
What were your thoughts on the whole bubble? I mean, I've gotten pretty much everybody that's come on, I've asked them about this because it was so much different than anything that we've seen before. Obviously, we're living through a year that is different than anything any of us have been through before. But what was that like? Because in a sense, February 4th comes around. If the season opens and there's no fans in the building, the Hamilton Bulldogs and the rest of the OHL will be in sort of the same idea. What did you sort of like about that bubble setup, and what did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was cool just that you're going to be with the guys 24/7, and I think it would just make you such a more tight group, being able to spend that much time with each other. And I think it would be pretty weird having your opponent walking around in the same area as you, but I think it would be a lot of fun and something cool, but we wouldn't want that. I love playing in front of the Bulldogs fans, and that'd be too bad if we'd have to do something like that.
I had Nick Camano on a couple of weeks ago, and obviously he just played in the Stanley Cup final. He said the weirdest part of the whole thing was you're in the hotel and you eat, sleep, breathe with your teammates and for the Dallas Stars, and then you get in the elevator and there's Victor Hedman and Tyler Johnson. And I mean, first of all, that's got to be a little bit crazy that you're in an elevator with two guys that are stars in the National Hockey League. But at the same time, weird that you'd be doing that with your opponent in the hotel, and now you got to take the awkward ride up to the floor. It just seems a little bit off as opposed to what you're used to.
Yeah, it definitely would not be normal.
And you mentioned the fans in Hamilton. We all want to get back to that as soon as we can, because everybody that I've talked to that has played with the Bulldogs, has played against the Bulldogs, talks about how crazy the fans in Hamilton can get. And you've heard it on Thanksgiving games and Family Day games when there's 5, 6, 7, 8,000 people in the building. What is it about the Hamilton crowd, Lawson, that just gives this Bulldogs team an extra jolt?
Yeah, I think we have the best fans in the league, and they're just so electrifying to play in front of. And I know we're all so eager to get back in front of them and have that energy again.
Now, I see you're wearing the lavender toque. A lot of us got those last season. Do you just want to go back and talk about that story? Because it's a game that we talked about at the time with Jake Murray himself. But just talk about how cool that was. And obviously it left an impression on you still wearing the lavender.
Yeah, for sure. That was a special game. It was great to see Murr get out and do that. And I've been on the ice with a couple skates with him this summer, and he looks great on the ice. So big head for him. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was a special game, and the jerseys were really cool, and these hats were nice too. So I think we all got one. I kept mine.
Yeah, I've got mine upstairs as well. I wear it anytime the weather gets cold. Get that right on, and it's something cool that we all kind of did to support not just Jake Murray, but anybody going through it themselves or their family members. And it goes back to how big and important the Bulldogs are in that community. Was there a bit more of a sense of pride? I know it's got to be huge anytime you pull the black and gold on, but when you wore the black and lavender, was that one of those like, yeah, we're not only doing this for us, this is for a bigger cause? Because that day had a feeling, that weekend had a feeling of this is something bigger than just the game.
Yeah, for sure. It's great to see we're able to support such a big issue like that, and just to be able to be a part of that's special.
As you look forward, Lawson, to next season, what are the goals for you and for this Bulldogs team?
Yeah, I just can't wait to get back and be with all the guys and start. We have a shorter season this year, 40 games, so just get back and make an immediate impact, and hopefully that next year's a successful one. I'm really looking forward to it.
What are going to be the keys for the Bulldogs getting off to a quick start? It's going to be a sprint right from the beginning. How does this team get off to that fast start that you're talking about?
Yeah, I think just once all the guys get back there, we're all going to realize that we still have unfinished business, like you said. So we're all going to be just chomping at the bit to get back to it and make the biggest impact right away and get the job done.
I know there's a sense around this team that there could be something special brewing here. It just feels like the age group of this team, they're coming along at the right time. It's the right blend of skills. Is that sort of the feeling as you guys are talking this offseason that, you know what, it's been a weird year, but as we get to 2021, we got a chance to follow up on something really special and write our names in the history book for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, for sure. I think we're developing as a group, and we got really special things coming with this group very soon.
All right. One more thing before we go. Storm back at head office has done a brilliant job this offseason. I want to give him props for this. He's come up with the Black Friday sale for the Bulldogs. Check out that graphic. BulldogShop.com, November 23rd to the 30th. Get in on that. Up to 60% off clearance, 20% off other items, free shipping over $99 Canadian. It is so awesome when you take a look through BulldogShop.com. And I thought of that because Lawson's wearing the toque. I've got the sweater on. I believe this one's still available on the website. Lawson, when you look at the Bulldog gear, we wear it on the bus. We wear it into the buildings. I just don't think there's another team that has gear as cool as we do.
No, yeah, for sure. I know I got all my family Christmas gifts from the shop last year, so.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
It's great to have it right there in the building. But Lawson, thanks so much for doing this. Anything you want to say to Bulldogs fans watching along? I can still see the numbers. There's quite a few here. So I'll open the floor and let you say what you like to the fans as we get set for February 4th.
Yeah, just thank them for all their support they've given us. And, February 2nd or whatever the date is, it's coming quick, and we're so eager to get back in front of you guys.
Can't wait. Can't wait until we're back there and we can actually do this in person once again. But Lawson Sherk, thank you so much for your time. Continue to stay well and stay healthy, and we really appreciate you joining us here on Bulldogs Live.
Thanks for having me, Reader.
So I mentioned that there are 2 episodes coming up this week. The next one is going to be on Thursday. I can't reveal the name of the guest yet. We're still working on it. He'll be coming to us from Europe, but it is not one of the Jans, and it's not Marian Studenic. But he is a former Bulldog. So there is the clue for this one. Lawson Sherk, I know you're going to want to check this one out. He's a former Bulldog legend, and I think this one could be some real fun. So Thursday, stay tuned to Bulldog social media to get the time. Lawson, hope we'll have you on for that one as well.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
All right. Thank you, Lawson. Thank you to everyone watching along. It's been the voice of the Bulldogs, Reed Duffy. Thursday, stay tuned to Bulldogs Twitter and social media for the details. We'll see you.